money up. Keep that semi tuck, cause I know I'm up. Wake up, count it up, get my money up. Keep that semi tuck, cause I know I'm up. Wake up, count it up, get my money up. Keep that semi tuck, cause I know I'm up. Wake up, count it up, get my money up. Keep that semi tuck, cause I know I'm up.
Hope y'all enjoyed the video. What up, everybody? It's Raw Racing. Welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto Online video. And in today's video, I'll be doing something that y'all have actually been requesting me to do for a very long time, which is show off all my cars that have F1 tires on it. Now, just to clarify, that is not going to be the song for the intro. It's just I've been having a couple of problems trying to get the song that I actually want for my intro. So y'all gonna have to wait probably until Monday's video or a week after, or whenever I make another video. That's when y'all will see the new intro. But just to get the list started, I'm gonna start off with one of my favorites, and it's the Imponte Nightshade. Now, I put F1 tires back on this car when the merge glitch works, so just keep that in mind that all these cars were made when the merge actually works. So if I get any comments asking people me how to do it, sadly, they have patched this glitch since then, but in the future there might be another way of doing it. Or if you know somebody who already has these cars with F1s on them, just either, ask them, or even just, hit them up and just see what they're going to say. Because I know a lot of people are actually willing to give people these cars for literally nothing, just in return for probably like a Bogdan or something, just to have an incentive. But that's one of my cars. And honestly, in my opinion, there's a lot of cars on here that I'll show that kind of don't make any sense to have on F1s. You'll see one of them. Not in this garage, though, but like, a couple garages from now. And basically, I did this mainly because I like the look of how some of them sat. They just sat really nicely. And as you can see, I got, well, that kind of doesn't make much sense, but I do have a Mustang with F1s on it. In my opinion, one of the best looking cars to put F1s on it besides the Hellfire. Now, I don't really see a lot of people with this. I see very few people who have F1 rims on a Mustang. Mainly because this car isn't really the best muscle car in general. It's kind of sluggish, but in my opinion, it makes this car look 10 times better, and it just gives it a better look. In my opinion, they should have made this to where you could actually get the F1 rims instead of the regular tires, because the regular tires with the fender arches don't really sit too well. But with F1s, this car immediately goes up to like a 9 or a 10 in my opinion. But if y'all want to know anything else about these cars, I'm going to possibly do them on a live stream if y'all want to see that. But this was a mainly requested list by like a lot of people, especially when I did my double clutching video, and I did it with my Hellfire that had F1 tires on it, which y'all will actually see in a second. Now, I know the video is going to be very long, and I'm sorry for that, but I want to make sure that y'all get, the full view of everything. I don't want to just say, oh, here's my top 10 list, because then there's some cars that a lot of people probably didn't see. So I might leave the timestamps for all of them, I don't know. But that's all I really have to say for right now, besides the fact that I'm going to be talking about the cars. But that's really all I got to say for like news and stuff, because there's nothing really else coming up. Besides, I might be doing a live stream either today or tomorrow. Whatever y'all comment down below, wherever I see on my Instagram, I will do so. But that's all for the news. And oh, by the way, if y'all hear me sniffling, I'm still kind of sick, so that's my fault. I'm not finna edit that out because there's no point. And yeah, let's just continue with the list. But in my opinion, I think it's kind of dumb how they patched this glitch. In my opinion, it's so stupid because it makes so much cars look so much better. Now, the next car I'm gonna show off is my Tesseract. A lot of people have the Tesseract with F1s on it. This is just a mint green one with pea green rims, just to kind of match the color. But in my opinion, it's probably one of the best looking supercars with F1s, mainly because of how much the fitment is with the car. It's pretty good actually for a fitment. Now, just keep this in mind. if they ever do re-release this glitch, or if people actually give out the ways to do it, because I know there is a way, but it's out of reach for a lot of people and only a few people can do it. But just keep this in mind that F1 tires do slow down your car. Yeah, it adds traction, but if you're doing races like Daytona and I take off catch up, then you're probably gonna have to just draft the whole time, because every other car is gonna be able to outmatch it. Even the Gauntlet Classic Custom regularly can outmatch it, even without the F1s. But with F1s, they do slow down your car, so just keep that in mind when you are trying to do it. Just so that there's no surprises or anything like that. And basically every single car that I have it for a reason. Some cars don't make a lot of sense, because when I did the original merge, I was kind of just like, oh, let me do this with that, and then let me do that with this. But just keep in mind that sadly I don't have any trucks with F1s on it. I know that's an L. You know, you would expect anybody to have a truck with F1s on it, but I was just going buck wild with the glitch. But let's move on to the next garage. Now here's my next garage. As you can see, I got the BF injection in the corner with F1s. Don't really need to go over that one because it's pretty basic looking. But this is the car that everybody wanted to see, and it's my Gauntlet Hellfire with F1s. Now in my opinion, it's probably the best looking car with F1s arguably in the game. It just sits so perfectly with the car, and it matches the tone of it. Now I have since changed everything about this car. The only things that are the same are of course the F1s, but everything that's different is the paint. I went with a matte black because I don't know, it just looks so much better in a matte color. With the F1s, it just looks so much more menacing in my opinion, and it gives you like a better, more aggressive look. I also changed the interior color to a red interior instead of it being like I think it was like a surf blue color last time, and it was a silver, no, it was a steel color that I had on it originally. But I had to change the license plates to black and gold plates. We'll do that soon. But in my opinion, this is just such an amazing car. I love it so much. I don't use it a lot anymore because I have the Classic Custom, but I will use it when I'm actually doing track races with muscle cars, because honestly, in my opinion, that car is a beast going around those turns. It handles so perfectly. But on to some other cars that I got. Now, I will be driving a lot of these cars around. So from this point on, if I stop talking for a little bit, it's just going to be me driving the cars around, basically. Now, the next car that I have is the Veriller. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I think it's Veriller. I don't know. Somebody please correct me in the comments if y'all even made it this far into the video. But it's a fun little car to have. I don't ever drive it. I kind of forgot about it, in my opinion. It's not really that much of a impactful car to have in a garage in the first place anyways, in my opinion. Like, I've seen a couple of people with this. It's fun. I don't remember it ever being like completely 100% stock, because I think the second I bought it, I just immediately put F1s on it, which is funny. But it's fun to drift in the snow, but it's not fun to drive in general. It's not really that fast of a sports car. It's definitely not going to be anything. But I'm not here to bash the car. I'm just here to basically say, in my opinion, it is a really good looking car with F1s on it. Now, I also want to apologize that the video might be a little long, so I'm trying to trim it down a little bit as I go. So if some parts seem a little bit cut, it's just because I don't want the video to be like 20 or 30 minutes. Because right now, I'm not even gonna lie, I've been actually talking for like 15 minutes. I told you I'm not editing out I told you I'm not really editing like that, because I don't really feel that good. I just want to push out everything and so y'all can really give a good look at it. Now, I'm sorry for there not being any audio for the actual cars. It's because when I was recording, I was in a party with my friends, and they were like blasting music, and they were playing 2K. I know y'all don't really want to listen to that. I know y'all want to listen to the cars. So if I'm ever on a live stream and y'all want me to pull one of these out, but y'all already know what most of these cars sound like anything. Like, especially the Hot Knife. It's probably one of the older hot rods, and it's definitely the oldest hot rod that's in the game. in my opinion. I think it's actually a day one car actually, because I think you could. I think before you could only get it when you had the. I think you could only get it before when you had like the certain DLC pack for the game, but but of course they changed that, so not everybody can get it. And I think it was also the same way with the Elegy for a long time until they added in the Elegy Retro Custom. I don't remember. It's been so long. Because I always remember this card just being accessible because I played it on PS4. On PS3, I think it might be different. I don't know. I'm not about to turn my PS3 on just to figure it out. But it's a fun little car. It's a nice little hot rod, too. And it's just such a fun driving car. I just hate how it's not that fast. And it's really good at wheelies, but it's not a contender for wheelies in my opinion. It's kind of comparable to some of the other kind of decent wheelie cars that are in the game. But that is it for this garage, so let's move on to the next one. Now on to my next garage. Now I told y'all would see a car that kind of makes no sense. I am sorry that y'all have to see this, but it's pretty funny that I never even changed that. But honestly, the next best looking car on F1s, I don't really see this a lot. I mainly see this one with Benny's with the back end cut off. But this car on F1s, honestly, in my opinion, was so fun to use during Daytona races. Back before I used my, what's that car called? My Bugatti 57 Type Atlanta. I'm just going to call it. Oh, it's the Z Type. My fault. Yeah, before I used the Strafade Z Type. This was my go-to race car, also along with my Ferrari. This car honestly is a lot better for track racing with F1s, in my opinion. That's why I wish like if this was a regular thing, it would be kind of fun to see people like compare the regular to F1s. I might do that if y'all want to ever see that in a video, but I know a lot of people don't, so I'm not even finna waste my time on saying that. But if y'all actually do, just comment that down below. Now, in this garage, I literally only have one muscle car that has F1s on it. And, of course, it's my OG Mustang. It's the original Mustang that came out way back in the day on PS3. And it's probably one of the best-looking muscle cars from the PS3 generation. It's still one of the faster muscle cars, too, which makes no sense because it's actually faster than the newer Mustang that I showed y'all earlier in the video. But honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't really look that. F1s don't look that good with this body style. Maybe if they were tucked in a little bit more and we got like, you know, a little bit wider fender arches, maybe it would look a little bit more better. A little bit better English. But that's all I got to say for right now. So y'all will hear me talk again once we get to the spot. So I'm probably finna speed up the video around this point anyway. So yeah. Now on to my next garage, which is, of course, we're going to start off with this one, the aggressive looking car of them all, the mighty Night Shark. Now, I know I don't you ever see a lot of people with this. I don't think I've seen a couple of people, or I've seen nobody at all with that, because I don't think anyone has really put F1s on that car. But it's honestly the scariest looking car when you see it. In my opinion, it's definitely one of the most intimidating cars, but it's already the most intimidating car anyways, especially to Oppressor Mark II kids. Just keep that in mind. It takes 25 rockets from an Oppressor to blow it up. So if you want to be safe and you don't feel like being one of those little flying kids on a bike, get that car. But of course I have the Thrax on F1s. Now that car actually came from the casino. That was the first car that ever came out on the wheel. So just so that y'all know, yeah, I had the first car that ever was on the wheel that I won from the wheel spin glitch really early on in the game when it was the original one, which was literally just closing out, because this was before anybody knew about the, you know, closing out, but you know, the 1 to 4 second method, or before I knew about it, because I didn't learn about it until like the second or third try. But this is where I'm gonna stop talking for a couple of minutes, because this is actually where I come to the part where I literally find out that this is the last floor of the garage that has F1s on it. There's literally no car up here. So y'all will see me driving around, and it will immediately cut to me going to another spot on the map, because actually I found out that I only have a couple of garages that have F1s in them, which doesn't matter to me. But this is where I stop talking, and I will catch back with y'all once I get to the next garage. Now, this is the final garage that has F1s in it, and this is my P1, and it's based off of the McLaren F1. And in my opinion, probably one of the weirdest decisions I made to put F1s on this. Now, of course, I know y'all are like, why did I block out the headlights? It's just because of the look. I just didn't want the headlights to show. I wanted it to look more racy type. And of course, we have my mom, but y'all seen this a lot on my channel, I'm pretty sure, especially if you join my live streams. I used to bring this car out a lot to car meets, and that's basically it, actually. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know y'all have been requesting this for a while. I hope this is what y'all wanted to see. Sorry for there not being any audio, like I said before. But thank you also, because we're actually 2 subs away from hitting 1,100 subs. Which means you're 102 away from hitting 2,000. Hopefully we can do that by the end of the year. But that's all I got to say for today's video. And I hope you guys have a really good rest of your Christmas.